Anyways, let's take a look at what has been a while or so? It's a Dylan video, dude. It's been a while since we've seen a Dylan video. So I tried designer restaurants. Let's go, dude.
So apparently, a bunch of designer brands have been opening up luxury restaurants all across America. These are literally the same brands that have sold fancy bags for $2,800 when they only cost $57 to make. If you ask me, these designer restaurants sound like a huge scam. But for some reason, they all have really good reviews. I want to know what all the hype's about, which is why I'm about to visit some of the most famous designer restaurants to see for myself.
Coach? I don't know what Coach is. Is that Louis Vuitton? Wait, Louis Vuitton has a restaurant? Gucci? Wait, Gucci has a restaurant? Dior? I don't know what this one is. I don't know these two. I don't know if is that Louis? Is that Louis? Is this is Louis Vuitton, right? I guess it is, because the translation said yes, so. I only know these two. I don't know what this one is or this one.
If they're worth the price, or are people just paying for the brand? Now my journey begins a few hours away in Austin, Texas, and designer restaurant number 1 is right behind me. This is the Coach Coffee Shop. Opened in 2025, it's actually Coach's second food location in the US. Now I know technically this isn't a restaurant, however, they do have food. Most importantly, it is the cheapest designer spot I'm visiting in this entire video, which means there could be a chance it's actually worth the money. But before I go inside, let me explain how things are gonna work. To keep it simple, I'll be judging each designer restaurant based on my experience, the overall tastiness of the food, and of course, the price.
Well, you said it's the cheapest, so...
So when you walk in, the coffee shop is directly to your right, which is pretty nice since you don't actually have to walk through the entire Coach store and potentially get distracted by expensive things to buy. Also, I gotta say, first impressions, the coffee shop looks way more legit than I expected. Their menu is pretty simple, and maybe it's because
Let's see, drip coffee for $4? What's drip coffee? Doppio espresso? I have no idea what that is. I know what cappuccino is. Iced cherry espresso tonic. Americano, latte, mocha, chai, tea latte, s'more latte. A chocolate cream soda? Cold brew, Coca-Cola cold brew. That sounds weird, dude. Chocolate cream soda.
I was expecting like $20 coffee.
They got matcha latte, iced sparkling matcha, iced strawberry matcha, lemonades, strawberry matcha lemonade, lavender lemonade. Why does that sound? Why did that sound so weird?
But the prices didn't.
Soft serves. They got vanilla cherry swirl affogato. You can buy a bag and coffee. No, I ain't fucking buying no goddamn bag from them. Because he said it's expensive. So what is it, like $100, $200 or something?
I see a lot of reviews raving about something called a tabby cake, which is one of their pastries designed to look like a Coach purse. Seems a little extra to me, but also, I guess, is on brand. I walked up to the counter, placed my order, and once that was done, I just had to check out Coach's exclusive coffee shop merch.
Coach? I've never heard of this brand ever.
Than buying traditional designer Coach. However, it still is very pricey. I'm pretty sure one of those t-shirts costs like $75. I don't know why.
75?
That seems crazy to me. This shirt cost me like $10. They even have their own coffee shop mascot, and this little dude is plastered everywhere in the store. And I mean everywhere. He's on all of the merch, their coffee machines, the tables,
hey, FPS,
the front window, even the napkins.
Yeah, you know, the usual.
It is very cute, and if my girlfriend were here, she would be making some pretty irresponsible purchases. I will not be doing that, though. Thank you. So the food and drinks have been acquired, and I can confirm this definitely feels fancier than a regular coffee shop. Their plastic cups have the mascot on it. This box is literally just for the one pastry, and they even hooked me up with some soft serve since I'm the first customer today, so that's pretty cool. Now, one thing I do have to say is I did get a little bamboozled because even though the coffee was very decently priced, this tabby cake cost way more than I thought. The price of it was not on the menu. It ended up bringing the total cost for just the pastry and the coffee to $24, which that's insane. Regardless of how pricey things are, I didn't want to be a total buzzkill, so I took a few photos of the food for my Instagram since I'm like 99% sure that's one of the major reasons why these designer restaurants exist in the first place. Let's try this coffee. I got
first customer on closing hours.
That's what a majority of people would get. One thing I'm curious about is how much...
Instead of going to Japan for Dripco, you can go to Coach and get some coffee too. No, stop it. I hate coffee. I don't like coffee.
Coffee flavor this actually ends up having. I'm also hoping it's not too sweet. Cheers. Honestly, it's not bad. Now, if I were to get specific, I definitely don't taste a ton of like deep coffee flavor. At the same time, it's also not super sweet, which I appreciate. I'm honestly kind of conflicted about how I feel about this. Now let's try the soft serve since it was free and it already started melting. I'm just noticing this now. They even put the Coach logo stuff and the coffee mascot inside the ice cream. Is that edible? I can't tell if that's just paper, but I swallowed it anyways. The soft serve itself honestly isn't bad. Now it's time to try their tabby cake. The outside of this is covered in chocolate and the inside should be vanilla cake. I think. Cheers. All right, y'all, I've officially made up my mind. But first...
Well, too damn bad you will get a bag of some coffee. I ain't getting no bag of no coffee. It's a very interesting topic because in US you can have the worst and the best food. In restaurants which use organic / natural ingredients, food will be very good, but if you get food with all that additional sugar and coloring, of course, good food in the US is very pricey. My friend was in the U.S. last year, and first he got sick. He got sick. How did he get sick? What did he eat?
I had to go outside. I high-key hate making final decisions inside stores, especially since that coffee shop is very tiny, and everyone working there could hear every single little thing I'm saying. So, anyways, overall, the coffee wasn't terrible. The experience itself was fancier, but at the same time, it wasn't too different from a regular coffee shop.
Wait. Hold on. Can I see this? Can I see this?
Was fancier, but at the same time,
they have a croissant. Is that a chocolate croissant from Starbucks? What the fuck is that? I don't even know what the fuck. What is this? This is like fucking rolled up bread or something? Ham and cheese croissant?
It wasn't too...
They got brownies here.
Different from a regular...
They got like a pink one too as well.
Coffee shop. The two things I can't get over though is the price, and that tabby cake was horrible. I don't even know how to explain it. The texture was weird. It was way too sweet. I thought the inside was gonna be cake. It was not cake. It was more chocolate. Definitely was not a big fan of that. So with that being said, was the Coach Cafe worth it? I really hate to disappoint anyone who's a big fan of Coach, but unfortunately, people are definitely paying for the brand here.
CD? Or is that...
Surprise! I'm now with my girlfriend Carrie because she is not as big of a hater as I am. The next designer restaurant is right behind us, and it's called Cafe Dior. This restaurant is located in Dallas, Texas, and also recently opened in 2025, which kind of goes to show how trendy these designer food spots are becoming.
Dior? Yeah, I've never heard of this. I've never heard of this brand ever.
The cool thing is they actually do serve real food here, and I already know...
What do you mean by real food? What do you mean by that?
Gonna be more expensive than the Coach coffee shop, which makes me a little nervous since I will already be spending more money since there's the both of us.
The real question is, do you think it's gonna be worth it?
I am a little skeptical of gimmicky restaurants, but I like Dior, so I'm hopeful.
Honestly, I'm just praying I don't walk out of here having purchased a purse.
Hey, listen, if that's an option.
I can't afford that. Let's go inside. As we walked through the front door, I immediately realized this place was gonna be on another level compared to the Coach Coffee Shop. Dior is a way fancier brand though, so I guess I should have expected
it?
that. I hear classical music playing from upstairs. There was no classical music at the Coach Cafe. I feel out of my element. Hi, how's it going? Good, good. We have a reservation for 2 under Dylan.
You have to make reservation for this place? Man, that's crazy to hear that.
Awesome, thank you. So we just got seated. What are your thoughts so far?
I think it's really pretty in here, but it is kind of small, and we're like right in the middle of the room.
Are you as intimidated as I am?
Maybe a little bit.
Now, what's really cool about Cafe Dior is that this restaurant was actually made in partnership with Dominique Crenn. She's literally one of the best chefs in the world and the first woman ever to receive 3 Michelin stars. Technically, that means the food should be
She only got a 3 out of 5? Man, that sounds terrible.
really good, but it also means
Immediately when I turned to the starters page, the first thing on the menu is $175. It is caviar.
Excusez-moi? 175? DEI? I wonder if those are very pricey cafeterias pay as well to the workers you need begging for tips
So that
as
makes
waiters.
sense, but still. That was very shocking to see.
now, despite my initial reaction,
Marbella prawns exo sauce yogurt tuna violette tuna dashi sweet potato chips salmon barbizon Aura King salmon blanc parsley beef éclatant fillets of beef carrot sauce bordelaise. Sorry if I'm mispronounced. You get a dress, bag, and coffee and Dior. Book a night coat. I'm not fucking doing that. What is this? Roman Heritage Farm Chicken? What? We're eating the chicken's heritage or something? Sandwich Petit Fleur. Chicken salad, pain de mer, green salad, pommes de chessy, classic potato rossettis, dessert, blooming bouquet, citrus curd tart, garden flowers and herbs, Manuela's rose, raspberry cream cooks, pistachio, jasmine tea glaze, honey and baby peach, La Marie, vanilla bean sponge, and exotic fruit. What makes the fruit so exotic? Hey, Quasar.
everything else on the menu does sound very tasty.
Our waiter did recommend that we get multiple dishes since they're small. To me, that just sounds like things are gonna cost more, but I do want to leave here full. You know what you want?
I think so. Are we supposed to get multiple starters and mains?
I have no idea. Whatever doesn't cost me $1 bajillion.
Too late.
We placed our order, and while we waited for our food, my lovely girlfriend decided to tell me about a purse she saw when we walked in.
How much is it?
At least $4,000.
Clear
No.
Clearly, I was very caught off guard by what she just said. But then I decided to make lunch a little more interesting by making a deal with her where we would buy that purse if our food came out before I finished telling everybody about the sponsor of today's video, Chime.
Chime is an award-winning financial app that millions of Americans use to manage, save, and spend.
Wow, really? Chime? Oh, I didn't know about that, man. That's very impressive. Anyways.
From this video, how does it feel that you will not be walking out of here with a purse?
Typical. Haven't had one before, not gonna have one now.
Now let's finally try this bread. It actually is really good bread, but I do like it more because it's free. So the
Think of how many chicken tendies you can get with 4K. Bro, speed running the ads. He is.
And we got the May Hamachi.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck?
More because it's free. So the starter just arrived and we got the May.
What the hell am I even staring at?
Hamachi. Cheers. Low key, I hate to admit this, but that's fire. The citrus lime vinaigrette, nice acidity, that's very yummy. So far, food-wise, Cafe Dior is off to a pretty good start. However, I do have to point out, just this starter alone cost more than everything I got at the Coach Coffee Shop. And just to make things a little more interesting, so our entrees have officially arrived. This is not what I was
4K
expecting.
bag and
Although every dish
dining?
we
No.
ordered looked beautiful, the portion sizes are tiny. We got some prawns with an XO sauce and some chili crisp on top. Seared tuna with, honestly this looks like bacon, but it's not. And a crispy potato puree. Despite all my complaining, I did take some photos to post later since the dishes were plated very beautifully. Then, it was time to try their $47 tuna.
$47 for that? Holy shit.
Violet. I think I'm saying that right. Cheers. What you think?
Honestly,
just for that little tiny piece of meat? 47? Oh my god, I can get more from somewhere else.
it's really good, first of all. But it kind of is like reminiscent of a steak to me. I don't know what exactly.
It should be tiny because you should order like 5 dishes
bacon.
probably. I don't want
really
to order
know. It tastes
5
like steak to me,
dishes.
but it's really good. That didn't make any sense. Let me do that again.
I'm not gonna let Carrie re-explain that. Honestly, she has a point. The tuna was marinated in like a mandarin sauce, so it's a little citrusy, but overall, the mouthfeel, pretty similar to a steak. Next, we tried their crispy potato puree, which honestly needed some salt. And afterwards, Carrie discovered she's a really big fan of their Marbella prawns.
That's really good. Whatever's in the sauce, I could eat that just on its own with a spoon.
That was about it for the entrees, but we couldn't leave without getting ourselves a little sweet treat. We both were actually pretty excited about this part since Cafe Dior specializes in something called haute couture pastries, which essentially is just a fancy way of saying they're pretty and expensive. So desserts have arrived, and honestly, these are beautiful and blow the Coach tabby cake out of the water looks-wise. This is called the La Marie. I think it's like a vanilla something with an edible gold bee. And over here we got a flower with pistachios. Which do you want to eat first?
I think this one.
It has like gold. It has like literally
Honestly,
like little gold little trimmed. It's like $30 for the art coat. No, it's not.
That wasn't my favorite. While I'd like to assume they use natural ingredients, the raspberry filling tasted kind of artificial. The La Marie, however, had a completely different fruit jam filling. And I'm sure you can tell from our reactions, that's a tasty pastry. I like that one. The grand total for all of the food came out to over $250, including tip. As expected, that was way more expensive than the Coach Coffee Shop. And the crazy thing is, that's not even gonna be the most expensive place I'm visiting in this video. I do think the food was good. I have some other thoughts about it, but let me hear yours.
That's crazy.
I think the food was really, really good, and it was really pretty. But I think for over $200 and it just being a cafe, you could probably find that somewhere that's not Dior, and it would maybe be a little more worth the money.
I'm gonna have to agree. Again, the food was good, but it doesn't help that I was still hungry after lunch.
Of course it's not worth it. We're going to New York?
So I'm in New York, and if you couldn't tell by the crazy looking...
What the fuck? Where are the windows? Where the windows go? What? They have this in New York? Man, dude, it's so... Okay, alright.
building right next to me. The next designer brand is Louis Vuitton, and their restaurant is called Le Café.
It's literally fucking suitcases above suitcases. It's called a delicacy if it comes with a big portion. No, stop it. Stop your stupid delicacy rich people talk, okay?
It's actually their first permanent food location in the US, so this place is super popular, and getting a reservation here is so difficult, I wasn't actually able to get one. However, I did read up that if you walk in first thing in the morning on a weekday, there is a chance you can walk in. So that's what we're gonna do. Hopefully it works.
What?
The other thing I have to figure out is how on earth I actually get inside that giant building. I gotta cross the street. This building is ridiculous. After walking around the perimeter, I came across this door with a sign basically telling me I was in the wrong spot. Apparently, this is LV's corporate office and not where I go to get food. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. That kind of feels like clickbait. Apparently the restaurant's actually somewhere in this building right across the street. That is more boring than the giant luggage, but back across the street I go.
Okay, so it's not that crazy weird bag looking building.
Now,
That's
even though
good.
I finally made it to the right place, the LV store wasn't open yet. But don't worry, that's actually a good thing since your boy got to be the first person in line. This may be a little confusing, but trust me, this increases my chances of getting into the restaurant by a lot, especially since this line got long
Speaking.
very fast. Once the doors opened, I speed walked into the building, beelined straight to the escalator, and basically climbed all the way to the top of this gigantic Louis Vuitton store. It didn't take long to reach the 4th floor where the cafe was, and when I saw the host, it was the moment of truth.
I have a table for you.
Yes. Looks like the early bird does get the worm. I cannot believe I actually managed to get a table. And right off the bat, Le Cafe has the most branded decor out of all of the designer restaurants I've been to so far. There's literally a Louis Vuitton trunk right behind me. I don't even know how much that cost. The plates have the LV monogram.
King came at a good time. King, you paying for a coast trip to these joints or at whatever Bagco wants?
Not to mention the entire restaurant is done in LV's signature color palette. I can't even lie, this is way cooler than I expected. Since it was early, I ordered a latte, and when it came out, I was very surprised to see it also comes
Time
with
to
the
sell a
Louis Vuitton
kidney.
logo on it. I don't even know how they did that.
I'd just rather pick up the GPU instead, in my personal opinion. What's with those people walking on electric stairs? I've never understood that. Why so much rush? Is because he wanted to get there early, is what he said.
That's a pretty good latte. Now that I got my morning coffee fix out of the way, let's take a look at this menu and see what these prices are. Y'all, this is crazy. Even the menu paper has the Louis Vuitton logo stamped on it. What? I'm honestly not sure if it's because of Cafe Dior.
Truffles, egg a la coque? What the hell am I even? Golden ostra caviar. Smoked salmon. Avocado tartine. Norwegian multi-grain goat cheese. Excuse me. Green apple jalapenos. Noi cities. Vanilla yogurt parfait. Assiete de fruits. Interesting. But GPU can't fill your stomach. Yeah, GPU is much reasonable. Yeah, just I'd rather get the the 5080 that was at my local electronics store for like $329.
But I wasn't actually surprised by the menu prices. Since I'm here at 10 a.m. right at open, all I can get is breakfast, which is fine. I still feel like that'll give me a decent gauge for how good the restaurant is. The truffle eggs just came out. Honestly, it's very beautiful. The eggs.
What the fuck? Why is the egg look different? Why is it? Why does the egg look so weird?
It's had the Louis Vuitton logo on it. The little breadstick it comes with also has the monogram logo on it. Y'all know the drill. Had to take a few photos because how often are you gonna get the chance to eat a Louis Vuitton breadstick? Once I finished acting like an influencer, I did run into a slight issue. I don't actually know how to eat this. Thankfully, my waitress was very helpful and told me to mix the truffle and eggs, then dip the breadstick in there for a tasty bite. So the bread's nice and light, eggs salted pretty well. The issue is the truffles are supposed to be the most expensive part of this dish, but I'm not really tasting any, even though truffles do have a very distinct flavor. So far, not a bad start, but I'm not amazed yet. Awesome, thank you so much, appreciate it. My expensive waffle has arrived. Keep in mind, this was $48. In front of me,
A waffle for $48? God lord, dude, a waffle for $48. That's crazy.
is their famous Louis Vuitton waffle, served with golden Acetra caviar. Of course,
Golden, excuse me, what?
It does have the LV signature logo on it. I think I just eat this like I would a regular waffle. Got a piece of waffle, put some of that caviar and butter on it, and
Caviar? Caviar
it's
on,
not bad.
on,
Caviar is good quality.
on
The waffle itself
waffle?
is nice and fluffy. Exterior's got a nice little crunch.
On a waffle.
I'm not sure if it was because I was expecting
But why?
maybe like a little more intricate flavors, but things still kind of taste a little basic. It honestly kind of feels like Louis Vuitton just took a bunch of fancy ingredients, threw their logo on it, then called it a day without actually making an interesting dish. But you know what? Maybe I'm being a little too harsh, so to give them one more shot, I decided to get myself a little sweet treat. All right, y'all, so dessert has arrived, and clearly this is the prettiest thing I've ordered.
Jesus, mother of God. Man, just get a hot dog at a hot dog stand cheaper and also.
So far, this is their chocolate cake covered with Louis Vuitton logos. This is also the dessert that people rave about on Google, so we'll see if it's good. Cheers. All right. You got me. That is a good dessert. It's not too heavy, which I'm actually surprised about. There's a salted caramel inside for that nice sweet and salty flavor. Honestly, good combo. I can see why people are raving about this, and I definitely will be eating the entire thing. I demolished the rest of that delicious cake. Then I got the bill, which came out to over $138, not including tip. All right, y'all, breakfast is complete, and now it's time for the final deliberations. These are my thoughts. Service was impeccable. Honestly, my waitress was fantastic, very nice. She even let me take one of these Louis Vuitton pens, which I really appreciate. However, honestly, the only thing that really excited me was that cake. The actual breakfast entrees were pretty basic, and the flavors weren't exciting at all. The grand total after tip came out to a little over $165, which is insane for a single person. So with that being said, was Le Cafe at Louis Vuitton
No.
worth it? I'm gonna have to say no.
Of course
I
it's
don't know.
not.
I can't justify paying that much.
Caviar goes well with anything. I dip my toast into caviar. Ugh, what even is caviar?
Unfortunately,
I don't even know
it
what
seems
that
like my
is.
initial hypothesis was correct. But who knows? Maybe the next restaurant won't be so bad.
Gucci, right?
All right, y'all,
Next
we've
one's
officially
Gucci,
made
right?
it to what I'm hoping will be the best restaurant in this entire
Probably
video.
go to
right
the
next to me is Gucci
Michelin
Osteria,
star
the
restaurant
only designer restaurant
instead of
in
best
America
coffee
that's
shop
managed
if
to earn
I
a
want to
coveted
experience really
Michelin
good
star.
food.
This restaurant was
well,
made
all of these
in
are not
partnership
coffee
with
shops. These are
legendary
restaurants
chef
now.
Massimo Bottura, and trust me, this dude is legit. He's
Massimo
the
the
chef
who?
and owner of Osteria Francescana, which has 3 Michelin stars. And back in 2016 and 2018, it literally won the title of best restaurant in the entire world. Now, since such a high caliber chef has his name on the line with this restaurant, the food has to be good, but the real question is, will it be worth it? There's only one way to find out, so let's go check in for my reservation. I made my way through this gated entrance into a hallway covered in Gucci wallpaper, which I think you can actually buy. But just to confirm, is it true you can buy this wallpaper?
Yes.
That's
This Gucci wallpaper, yes.
That's crazy.
Gucci wallpaper. Caviar is overpriced fish eggs. Is that what that is? I never knew about that, to be honest. Yeah, that's why I probably go to his restaurant. This is bad review. You're supposed to buy a bag, clothing, and then food.
Alright, well, enjoy.
Awesome, thank you. I feel so out of place. I took the elevator to the second floor where their main dining area was and was greeted by 2 fancily dressed gentlemen who led me right to my table. And just like the last spot, Gucci Osteria looks like it came straight out of a designer catalog. It was decorated in Gucci's classic color palette, and not to mention, this is literally my table setup. I have a feeling you can buy this somewhere on their website. I'm not sure, but it looks purchasable. Now, something else that sets this restaurant apart from the other designer restaurants is that they actually focus on a specific style of cuisine. Since Gucci originated in Florence, Italy, you guessed it, they make Italian food here. Let's see what they got. I totally expected to see prices that were
Hold up. We're taking a look at these. We're taking a look at these. Gucci Ostera Classic. 150 per person. 145 wine pairing. 375 Cantina private wine. Ensalada di Marie. Seafood salad. Tortellini. Parmigiano Reggiano sauce, cod Milanese, and little gem, pine nuts. What? Citrus. Let me see. Additional bread service, $3 per person. Man, they're charging $3 for bread? Consuming raw and uncooked meats. Okay. What the fuck? What is this? Wine pairing is subject to change based on availability and producer and vintage. Please be advised that a 20% charge will be added to the check. Veine in Italia con noi. Aromatic farmers market organic greens. Baby grilled artichokes, beef capriccio donato. Wait, what? Risotto California pizza? You and me and Capri. Spaghetto al pesto de Santa Barbara. It has pistachios in it? Pistachios and basil pesto. Santa Barbara spot prawn almonds? Got almonds in it? Wait, what? But it got prawns in it though. 56? Jesus Christ. Our fries don't speak French. Roasted chicken salt. Evo mayo? Where we're going to Evo? Into the wild grass-fed Wagyu? Jesus Christ. 90.
Way out of my budget, but surprisingly, only 2 dishes were super expensive. Everything else is pretty reasonably priced considering they do have a star. The most expensive thing on here though is their tasting menu, and unfortunately I feel like I'm gonna have to get it. Since it features all of their classic dishes, it'll give me the best gauge for how good this restaurant actually is. I placed my order, got one of their fancy drinks, then a few minutes later, they brought out the amuse-bouche. That's French for a tiny dish served before the meal, meant to wake up my palate, by the way. We got some bread paired with a very pretty looking butter, some ricotta, and I think this is a bread custard with caviar and some kind of foam on top. Let's give this a try. Look at this foam. I feel like I'm eating soap. This is not what I expected it to be. There's so many different textures. There's something else in there that adds like a nice crunch. Overall, quite tasty. Now let's try this bread and some of that fancy butter. Honestly, this is like my favorite part of every meal. I love carbs. It's so pretty though, I feel bad cutting into it. This is so difficult to do with one hand. I'm gonna be brutally honest here. While it is high quality bread, it is just basic bread and butter. Nothing too special about it. But the good news is this.
I don't know, because caviar is supposed to be equal to fanciness.
Any second now. Enjoy. Thank you, appreciate it. So the first course is their ensalada de mare. Yes.
That just looks like the grass you get outside from the outside of the fucking park, or so you just like rip it out of it and then just put it in that.
It is a salad dish, but according to my waiter, when Chef Massimo came to the US, he wanted to recreate the classic Italian seafood salad, but with fresh California ingredients. I don't eat salad too often, but I gotta say, this one is very pretty, and the dude made it sound really good. Cheers. You know, this is really good. All of the greens taste really fresh. The acidity makes the entire salad feel really bright, and I really like the calamari. Not gonna lie, I am very surprised by how much I enjoyed course number 1. I am curious how many of the next courses, if any at all, will have the Gucci logo on them. I haven't seen anything yet, but I have a feeling there's gotta at least be one.
I thought for a second there they served him cereal. I thought for a second there they served this man a bowl of cereal. I was like, wait a second, what the fuck is that?
Y'all,
That
I'm
shit
gonna be
literally
so
looks
for
like
real
a
right
bowl
now.
of
Gucci Osteria is blowing my mind. The second course just arrived, and apparently it's Massimo Bottura's
dude, this
signature
shit looks like a
tortellini
bowl
dish.
of cereal.
The filling is made with pork and veal. I can smell just the Parmesan from right here, and it smells divine. I'm also a sucker for cheese. Let's give this a try. Cheers.
Literally, it looks like a bowl of cereal, like how he's eating it. That's crazy, dude.
Oh man. Oh man, oh man. Look, I knew this restaurant was supposed to be good because it has the Michelin star. They don't give that to just anybody, but I didn't expect it to be this good. The sauce is a 36-month-old Parmesan cream, and it is so good. It's so nice.
That cheese is 36 years old? Ew.
And creamy. Salt
That's
levels are
old.
perfect. Dude, what is going on? I also like that the portion sizes aren't super tiny because I'll actually be able to leave here full. In case you think I'm exaggerating, here's proof I liked it. It's gone.
The third
Pharaoh.
course was a deep-fried cod dish that I may have completely forgot to film before digging in. My apologies for that. It was very delicious though. So far, still no dish with the Gucci logo on it. I am very surprised about that. Once I finished the cod, it was finally time for desserts, which means this is the last course. Honestly, I'm okay with it though because I was starting to get full, but I still have room for this. This dessert in front of me is called Citrus. I'm assuming it's very citrusy. I was told that it's a play on multiple different textures, which is very exciting. Gotta love textures. That's basically all I know about it, so without further ado, let's give it a try.
Oh my God. This sounds a little weird to explain, but the moment I tasted this, I feel like I woke up. It's so bright, obviously very citrusy.
He's
It's
awoken.
still really balanced. The different textures are so fun. I don't even know how to
You
describe
became
some of
woke.
them. This is honestly the perfect way to finish off a meal. Absolutely demolish that thing.
To end off my meal, my waiter brought out some tiny bite-sized treats, which were very...
What?
Demolish that thing.
To end off my meal, my waiter brought out some tiny bite-sized treats.
Just two? Just two? Only two? His clothes exploded. Only 2 pieces of candy? Oh my God. Jesus Christ, man. I'm losing my mind with these restaurants, to be
which
honest.
were very tasty, along with a little Gucci box.
Y'all, I finally
Wow,
got something
you get a
with the
Gucci
Gucci logo on
box.
it. Inside there's local tea for me to take home, which is interesting. Not what I expected, but cool.
Now all that's left for me to do is pay the bill and give y'all my final verdict. Dinner's complete. The total bill ended up costing a little over $258, which is very expensive, especially considering I was the only one that was fed. However, despite all of that, the food was delicious, service was great, and honestly, I think I can justify the price. I can't believe I'm saying this, especially since I've wasted a ton of money at the other spots. But I actually believe this designer restaurant is worth the money. And you know what? At least I got some cool pictures for the gram. By the way, y'all should follow me if you haven't already. Goodbye.
Right. Just 2? So greedy? Shut your bitch ass up. There's only like 2 pieces of candy on that thing. Look how big the goddamn stupid dish is. Look how fucking... Look at this
To
shit.
end off my meal,
Look
my
how
waiter
big that fucking dish is, okay?
brought out some tiny
Like,
bite-sized treats.
look at the size of this plate here, and look at the size of the 2 things that you get on this thing. Basically, you bought air. What is this? What the fuck is this, huh? Explain this to me. As this is not right. This is a crime right here. You should be sent to jail for serving something like this. I swear to God. Unless literally someone is gonna like eat my pussy out, I do not want this. So anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe to all that fancy jazzy stuff. I would not pay this much money for food, to be honest. I would not pay for fancy food. Hell fucking no. Unless they're literally gonna come over and fuck me in the ass. No, thank you. These candies are so lonely. They need friends there. They're segregated right here by a wall, you know, it's just invisible. Man, just hire a stripper at this point. Yeah, man, shit, I'd rather do that. Fucking hire a Chippendale, you know? They will if you can't pay. Oh, fuck that shit. Oh my God, dude. So what we learned, none of them are basically worth it at the end of the day. So, wow, what a shocker. Surprise, surprise. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And yeah, don't be paying for food like this, okay? And